Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Endzone 2. Now I promised more expeditions in Zone 2 and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're starting off with this abandoned house here. Now I do know that I need the fire axe to get into a certain part of the house, but also we need the plant encyclopedia to get whatever's here. We don't have the plant encyclopedia currently in our vehicle, but we do have it in another one, so that's good. So we'll just start by emptying out the kind of surrounding areas and then we'll head inside. There's a few items here. We can move this shelf to get into here and access this cabinet. It does have a lockpick in there for us. That's pretty good. And then we need to go upstairs now to have a look into this cabinet. Break down this door, I would imagine. And we are into some more cabinets and shelves. Some books here. That's actually another plant encyclopedia, which we can use now, so that's good. And we'll have a look down here and make use of that plant encyclopedia to hopefully unlock a brand new seed. Now, we've pretty much got all of the seeds that we need, but it's always good to have some more, especially some of the higher quality ones, and that gets us tomatoes, which I can't remember the quality of tomatoes, but that's really good nonetheless. Can load everything in, and then we'll find another one that has extra space for us to get those items in. Good. Right, what's next? So we've got a little industrial site right next to us there. We're going to head over there next. It's just down the street. You can move on over. And that requires the ladder and the plank, which I think is in our Nomad. Yes, the ladder and the plank. So we can do this whole expedition with the one vehicle. Now, we've had a few raider attacks that we've had to fend off and a few other issues to deal with. And I've kind of reorganized my trade routes now as well, which we can talk about maybe in this episode or maybe in another one. There's another fire axe here that we can grab. I mean, these are all good. We only need the one, really, so we can use the rest for trading and things like that, which is really good. Ole Sorensen, as we discovered last time, has decontamination kits, which is great. Oh dear, I've taken away a ladder that I might need there, so we'll put that in. And then we'll head on up, grab the barrel, and there's another bottom support where we will put the plank. And it looks like a safe as well in there, so we can have a look. And there must be some writing somewhere for us. Sometimes it's on the road, which is a bit frustrating because I've got lots of cars there blocking the road. Other times it's just hidden away around the back of a building somewhere. So we're in. We know there's a safe here. Where is it written? There it is, 5370. So let's have a look in the safe, see what else we can get. 5370. There we go. We're in and we unlock the rain collector. So that's good. Very good. The rain collector basically acts as another way to collect water. And it basically means when it rains, you will be able to gather water. It's a nice one for those settlements that, you know, don't have a lot of space, and it can replace the wells, which is really useful. So we can basically loot up here again, take all of those out, and I think we're going to need to fill up some more space. I've got a Nomad here that can take all of those, which is great, and then we will have a look at our next destination. What have we got now? So further afield there's a country house. There's also a city of ruins. I think we'll go there. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this one before, so that's going to be a nice little explore for us. So we'll head on over. Got another vehicle here that's just kind of stood. I forgot to move it over. So here's the city. We'll move the buggy over there. Now we need the fire axe, and I think that's, oh well, that's in multiple areas. So we'll start our expedition, and oh, this is nice. I like this. An abandoned city. Let's just have a little look at that. Very cool. Lovely. Very Fallout-y. Kind of like when you first get to Concord in Fallout 4, actually. Nice. Right, let's head in. What have we got? We've got an ambulance here. I assume that's a fire axe job. No, straight in. It's got medical supplies, which is good. And then quite a lot here. This is a nice big place to look around, so that's good. And I think that just about covers everything there, but we've got an empty, well, a wide open shop here. Go in there, medicine. Nice. And a barrel, and then there's some books back here, which will probably have research points in. Oh no, it's just it's an encyclopedia for the plants. Have a look in here. Only 33% complete, so there's lots we can do still. Have a look at those crates. More books over here. What's that going to give us then? Aha, knowledge points. Good. We've got plenty of those at the moment, though. We're kind of almost topped out on the research, and I think that's one of the problems with, the game no longer being developed. There's nothing much to do once you've topped out that research tree. So it's likely that the series as a whole, once we finally get to that point where we've got all of our research, it's going to be about just kind of taking out the rest of the raiders and making ourselves a little bit more sustainable. Got a microwave there. That's just a bit of lore coming down here. Still only 80% complete on the explore, though, so there must be some other stuff we can find and look at. Down here, are there any houses? It's going to be an open location, really, that we need to find. I think that's just a bit of a glitch there. Lots to do. It would help if it wasn't nighttime. I think... Oh, it's this one? I've already been in here, though. This is where that spacebar comes in handy for looking at the things that you might have missed. Got the air conditioner and the microwave. Was there anything else in this shop that I might have missed? No, it's just that. Okay. What about down here, then? Did go in this building. Nothing there. Can I get into that one? Pretty cool exploring the ruins of an abandoned city, but when you get lost in that city, that's a little bit of a different story. Okay, don't think we can get anything else in these buildings. Is there a way out into that courtyard? No. There's nothing in that one. Don't have anything here. That's kind of the end of the map. Also the end of the map. Interesting. That's the edge. Is there something down here that I've missed? No, not again. No, nothing. Let's have a look back on that roof, see what it said about the microwave. Only 80%. Let's go up. What's this say? Leftovers. No, nothing. Okay. Interesting. Right. What about in here? I think I looked in here. Can we go with these stairs? Yes, there we go. Right, some electronic devices here. And then more electronic devices. It's just going to be a lot of scrap and stuff, which is useful. Takes us to 93%. And then another stairs that we can go up and some interior decoration. What's this going to give us? Cloth and wood. Great, right, let's get out of here. That was a good one. Quite like that. Right, what else can we grab from here? Now, we are kind of getting to a point where our loot is filling up. So it might be a good idea to drop everything into this location and then do some moving around. You can see I've got some decontamination kits in everyone's inventory at the moment. And that's because I've just done a trade. We've actually got some toxic rain, which is not good. But we can kind of just deal with that for now. Once it's passed, we'll have a look at dropping off these decontamination kits to the various settlements that we've got. And that'll help to kind of push that radiation away. So let's get all of this loaded in. And then, yeah, okay, that's fine. You don't have any protective clothing, but I wouldn't worry about it. I'm not. I mean, well, I don't need to worry about it. I'm protected. Let's load up the cars, and we should be ready to head back off again soon. What have you got? You can take those 2 items there. Great. Next up then. And the expedition cycle is pretty much rinse and repeat. So we've got a church here. We're going to head over to that. We do have to be very careful as we get to this edge of the map, because I'm sure there's a raider settlement that can actually target us across the river, which is not good. So let's have a look. What did we need here? We needed the fire axe, plank, and ladder. Now, the plank and the ladder are in the nomad here. There. Plank, ladder. They don't have a fire axe, but I think that should be okay. We can actually exchange that fire axe into the nomad. Then we'll start the expedition. That means we'll complete the whole thing with 1 vehicle, which is great. There's also an extra ladder here if we need it. And hopefully I can fit that on a vehicle, because we're probably going to need to head back after this. Seems like we've got full stores at the moment. Break down the door at the back of this church and head straight in. Oh dear. something going on here. So we've got to be aware of 6666. I assume there is a safe in here. Some naughty goings on in this place. Why am I going around here? Get back in there. You've got things to do. Right, we've got a barrel. And a pallet. Getting lots of items that we definitely need. Plenty of coal and iron and rubber gloves and stuff for radiation protection. We'll head up to the top of the church here. Is that going to take us to a new area? Yes, it is. And a crate. Come back down. We'll head up this back area here. And there's the safe. And a bottom support. So let's use the safe. We know that it's going to be all the sixes. Something weird was going on here for a while, wasn't it? And we'll place that in there. We'll just grab what's on that shelf, climb up the ladder. And this is going to take us up to the bell tower. Ooh. This was probably a viewpoint that we could have unlocked, I would imagine, to see a lot more of the map. Yeah. So it discovers a few places in a further off location that we can take a look at, but we don't need to worry about that because we've pretty much unlocked them all. So we'll keep heading downstairs. And that should send us back into here where we can climb down the ladder, remove the ladder, and then head back downstairs. Now, there were some more places in this second level that we're going to need to go back up to. So let's head on up this staircase to take us up to the second floor again. Little bit of an issue there, but I think we're okay. And then we've got a defect here, which is probably where we put that wooden plank. To climb across, get access to that shelf, and keep following this little walkway around to get the crate and the crate there. And then we'll head back over. We will grab our plank and end our expedition again. Good, so we can end that. Then we can just find all of our vehicles that can potentially loot any more stuff. And fill ourselves up. Take the plank into that. And we can take the ladder into there. Do I have anyone who's got glass? Because I don't, by the looks of things. But that's done. Then we're going to head all the way back to Newtown. And drop this stuff off. So, we do have a decontaminator in place here. We have a look at the soil radioactivity. It's pretty clear around this area, so that is good. They have managed to clear out that space, but they do need to decontaminate over there and over here. Then if we head back over to Newtown, you can see the contamination has kind of spread a little bit, so we do need to do a little bit more work there to solve their issues. So we will find our decontaminators. I think I've got one down here somewhere. That's one there. I'm going to change their area of effect to this space here. I think it was already in there, so we'll just adjust it a little bit. And then I've got another one over here. They are already set to decontaminate that area. And I think I do have another one here. So we'll change that area so it kind of overlaps this one. And they should then clean out all of the space there. Good. Right. I think that's good. Then having a look over in Medici, it's all pretty much the whole settlement is radioactive, so we'll sort that out. And we don't actually have an upgraded decontaminator in this location, so let's have a look at what we can do. It's in logistics, and we'll place it down here. They do have the ability to build it straight away, so that is good. We'll just put it down there for now. We've not actually spent much time in Crimson Canyon sorting that out, so we're going to have to come back at another episode to just make sure that's all good and boost the population there a little bit. Every time we have to boost the population, though, we run into a little bit of a problem in that we need to then balance the resources again. So Newtown, at the moment, they are able to cope barely with the water loss from a drought. So we are going to put in an extra water tower just so that we can solve out any of those issues. And I think we've got a bit of space somewhere where we can place it. Yeah, we can put it right there, I think, or somewhere nearby. Is there anywhere we can place this? There. For some reason we can't place it here. Wrong type of soil. I mean, it could just go here. At the back of the houses. That might do us. It's saying wrong type of soil because I've got a power cable there. Let's just put the water tower in there. That'll increase the amount of water storage we've got and allow us to just make things a little bit better there. We're going to drop off some of these items and the raw materials that are there, including that rubber. So then we can move our vehicles away. I'll just turn this overlay off because that's quite frustrating having that just chucked in there. And then here comes some of our other vehicles. We can drop these off. The mule there, that can go. And then here, we're actually not going to drop all of the decontamination kits off. We're going to drop off 18 there. Then we'll drop all of this stuff off, the medicine. And the depot is now full. And then this mule will dump everything in. And our nomad should be returning very soon. A little bit slower than nomad. Slower than the Pathfinder, actually, which is quite strange because I think they are essentially the same vehicle. Now, we're quite lucky in that we've not had any raider contact for a while, so that kind of keeps us ticking over nicely. And then we're going to send these vehicles out to Medici to drop off the decontamination kits. What would be nice, I don't know if we can do this. Let's have a quick look at our transport routes. If we can get a new transport route, yeah. So what I was hoping for was that it would be very much like Anno 1800, where you could set up a transport route, and here comes Lizzie Rasmus, but where is she coming from? We don't know. She hasn't appeared on the map. It might well be that she's in Zone 3. I seem to have had that happen a couple of times where a raider will say, I'm coming to get you, and then they never show up. And I think that's due to... It might be that they're spawning in another zone altogether, which is good for us, but it would be very strange if they were just waiting there when we finally do unlock that zone. That's something that I wouldn't be looking forward to. Hopefully that isn't the case. But we're going to drop off these items, and then again our convoy will move on to Crimson Canyon, where they now have a decontamination station. We are going to start clearing the soil there in that place, and then once our vehicles arrive, we'll drop off those decontamination kits from the Pathfinder. Again, we're only going to drop off 10, and then we're going to see if we can drop off any of these items as well, but no, they're not going to take them. And then we can head on over to the Iron Wall and drop off some more decontamination kits. So if we have a quick look at what has happened, I do need to change a few things here. So I know these items are kind of in a good way. You can see we've used pretty much all of the decontamination kits, but we've managed to clean quite a substantial amount there, which has brought that soil radioactivity level right the way down. So as long as we every now and then just kind of top this up, they'll get to work and they'll get that stuff done. Even here, you can see it's just the overlay has just changed because they've cleaned some of the soil. So let's have a quick look at the decontamination kits there. They've got 6, and over in Medici, it's dropping there as well. We just remove the lead vest and just make sure that we've got a track on our decontamination kits. That has now cleaned soil there, so we're going to move their area of work. Then looking back over here, not quite sorting it out yet, but they've still got 6 decontamination kits left. And then over in Newtown, as you can see, we've just run out, but they're hopefully going to clean the soil there as well. Then we can get our Pathfinder again, drop off 10 more. Let's give them another 10. Then we're going to head all the way back home to Newtown, and we're going to drop off whatever's left. That's good, and we've eaten away at some more expeditions. We've got a nice loot run, and again, it's going to be a case of just rinse and repeat. Now, I think I've done all of the minor loot areas in this zone. I've not seen any while I've been exploring. This needs a repair, actually. So what we can do is we can bring our Pioneer out as long as they have some iron tools. So we're just going to exchange goods with the settlement here. We're going to take 10 lots of iron. Let's take 20. We'll go over here, and if we hit repair mode in the wasteland, we can then repair our vehicles and our, well, not our vehicles, we can repair our structures that we've built in the wasteland, which is good because as the raiders do come round, if they're going to have a little go at your settlements, you can fight them off and then go back and repair, because they do damage your structures as you go past, which isn't great, but that's looking good. So we can move our vehicles into, we're going to go up to Ole Sorensen again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell all of the items that I currently have in my vehicles. We're just going to repair this structure, and then you are going to go back to Medici where you are a little bit safer. The buggy here, for some reason, has not left, so we're going to send him up to Ole Sorensen as well. And then looking at our settlement, if we have a quick look, I'll just turn that overlay off again. We would like to get some more nomads produced, and they need iron bars. We've got quite a few iron over here in the iron wall. We have a quick look. They are turning them into iron tools, but we've got a lot of them. And the reason why our iron tools are kind of dropping down every so often is this transport route here, which runs iron tools between Medici and Newtown. So that's great because they're producing enough there to get by, and then scrap is kind of being ferried around everybody. I realized the scrap route that was going back and forth to Medici wasn't really sustainable, so I'm sending a buggy around all of my settlements, dropping off any scrap from that scrapyard. Medicine as well is being produced in Medici, and that is now transported to all of my areas. And then we have just about enough. We've got a little trifecta here between 3 settlements sending out gas masks and rubber gloves, and then over here we've got one that just goes between Newtown and the Iron Wall. Now the Iron Wall isn't being sustained at the moment, and what I had to do was I had to boost the production here of carbon masks and rubber gloves because we weren't producing enough to help out our settlements. We're only getting like a surplus of 6 per minute there and 4 per minute on the rubber gloves. And it's still not enough for our settlements to have a decent supply. Luckily, these 2 smaller settlements are pretty well equipped now, but we need to sort out the issue here with the Iron Wall, especially considering that I want to boost the population of that area very quickly so that we can continue churning out all of this stuff. Right, the Nihilists are on their way and they're going to Medici. And we have a little bit of a problem here because all my vehicles are over there. Not good. So we are going to try and get back to Medici before the Nihilists arrive. But before I do that, I want to very quickly trade off these items and any excess that I've got to get some more decontamination kits. So we're getting it very quickly. Again, just have to go through everything. He hasn't got anything to trade. Then we're going to dump all of this stuff from the Pathfinder. This could get tense. We need to get this done before the Nihilists arrive. Right, we're going to quickly dump a lot of this stuff out and then bring in a few more. Just until that drops down. There we go, that got us 20. And then the same here. They've got a ladder only. Let's see how many that gets us. It's not going to be many. 3, it's enough. It's still something. And then we can dump all of that. And let's just see what we get. I think that's probably going to be about 11. Yeah. Okay. We at least got some stuff. Now we're going to try and head to Medici, because if they take out this Pioneer, we are going to be in trouble, because the Pioneer costs a lot to make. How many are coming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles. Oh, another one has just like unfolded from it. They are Reapers, so they will have some fairly heavy armaments, and we need to make sure that we're able to defend ourselves. Now, this bunker only has a light machine gun on it. I wonder, actually, can we very quickly... Have they got any weapons stored? They've got a heavy machine gun and a light machine gun. And what did we need to build a bunker? 5 iron and 15 lead. Do we have iron and lead here? We've got iron and we've got lead. Good, we can quickly build a bunker and then equip it. So we'll bring out all of the iron and all of the lead. I think I actually left that here from this, so that is very useful. I'm missing resource 75 scrap. Okay, we can do that. 75 scrap. Got loads there. Good. Quickly get this bunker built. I can actually build 2. So I can probably build a second one nearby. That says it's unstable ground. Wrong type of soil. Unstable ground. What about here? I mean, thankfully, these turrets are doing some damage. But this buggy's now in the way and not safe. So we're just going to move him away. These two are just going to follow them. I'm going to have this buggy hold back a little bit. This one's going to come back as well. And then we very quickly... Oh god, this is tense. Let's quickly exchange goods with the settlement. Get that heavy machine gun. Oh, I can't. I can't equip it. Right, okay. Yeah, because we can't add weapons onto that vehicle, unfortunately. Right, we're going to pull you back. You're going to go there. And you are going to head off in this direction as well and repair up. He's okay moving along there. He's alright moving along there. They are thankfully focusing on our turrets now, which might help us out. And then we just need these guys to get back and finish the job. Okay, let's speed up. There we go. That's it. Job's a good one. Oof. Right, we managed to survive that somehow. Now it looks like they're coming in with some heavy artillery there. But these are the guys who basically... These trucks don't do any damage, unfortunately. They just kind of stay there. So they're easy to take down. I'm just going to send this back on its merry way. We'll have these two buggies go down and start chasing this convoy down. And then these guys can pick up the excess weapons. Now, the great thing about this is we can trade them off straight away and get some new material. And they're just going to follow along and pick stuff up, which is good. I think these two buggies are on trade routes. Yes, they are. Now, this one, as it gets back, it will do a little bit of repairing, so that's fine. Let's just move these vehicles on, and we will, again, take them out. So, we've defended successfully. Obviously, here, the Nomad has just arrived. He can now add some vehicle weaponry, the heavy machine gun, and then add it to here. And then that's us done. That ended up being a little bit more action-packed than I was expecting, but our Nomad is here, and it's going to go back that direction. We've taken out these, and we're just going to finish off by destroying that, which is good. Right, let's end our episode here. I hope you've enjoyed another episode of Endzone 2. It has been fun, and I've enjoyed it. So I hope you have too. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.